Moving on to our next project, Rumba by Kaveh Nabatian. Kaveh Nabatian is an Iranian-Canadian filmmaker and musician based out of Montreal, whose films have played at over 50 international film festivals. He has won multiple awards, including prizes at South by Southwest, nominations for the Jutras and Genies, and he's also an alumni of TIFF Talent Lab. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kaveh Nabatian with Rumba.
Clicker. Classic. So how you guys doing? You guys enjoying yourselves? Thanks. I'm a trumpet player, so I always dreamed of going to Cuba, where some of the world's best trumpet players were born. The first time I went, I was expecting the Buena Vista Social Club fantasy of the island. Excuse me. Smiling old men with cigars, white sandy beaches, classic cars rolling down the streets of Havana. And in some ways I found all of that. But I quickly realized that there's a dark side to the tourism industry. I call it the love hustle. The first time I encountered a love hustle was at a post office in Havana. Post offices are basically the only places where people are allowed to use the internet. So it was packed, 3 or 4 people to a computer. And at each computer, somebody was writing a love letter with the encouragement of his friends. Dear Matsui, I see your eyes in the face of every woman I meet. You are more beautiful than the ocean. And then they'd say something like this. Send $50 when you can. Or, when will my visa be ready? Then they'd press send and move on to the next woman. Querida Caterina, your name is in my every breath I take. Rumba is the story of a love hustle. It's a film about choices and consequences. A Cuban guy who marries a foreign woman in order to be with the girl he truly loves. Leonardo and Sarah are in love. They live in a poor but lively area of Havana, and they're desperate to leave the country. He's a professional dancer, and she's a lawyer. But between the two of them, they make $20 a week. $20 a week. Without money or connections, it's impossible for them to leave the island. Almost. They realize that their ticket out is for Leonardo to seduce one of the foreign women at the salsa school where he teaches. The student they pick is Nassim, an Iranian-Canadian divorcee who's seeking passion and adventure in paradise, just like she saw in Dirty Dancing Havana Nights. So, according to plan, Nassim falls for Leonardo and fulfills his dream of leaving Cuba while Sarah waits behind in Havana. The first time Leonardo steps onto Canadian soil, he's expecting the American dream. But instead, what he finds is this, the Montreal winter. And when he doesn't get the dance job he was expecting, he winds up working at a meatpacking plant with other immigrants, making $5 an hour. This was not the fantasy either of them had been dreaming of. But as time goes on, Leonardo starts to develop real feelings for Nassim. But he's living a lie. He's still trying to get Sarah out of Cuba. And Nassim has secrets of her own. When Sarah finally makes it to Canada, the truth and lies explode, and nobody gets what they thought they wanted. But everybody ends up transformed, with their dreams coming true in ways they couldn't have expected. Like Nassim, I'm an Iranian-Canadian hybrid. I've always struggled with my identity. So my films are always about people on the margins of society, whether it's a film about winter in Montreal, an older Mexican man who comes out of the closet, or an unlikely couple who meet at the end of the world in my film Sunday Afternoon. My writing partner is Pablo Herrera, Cuba's most important hip-hop producer.
Yo, revolución en Cuba tiene un nombre hip-hop. Revolución es mi canción con virtudes realistas transmitiendo el pensamiento.
And this is a story Pablo's dying to tell as much as me, but for different reasons. It's a story of a young, talented Afro-Cuban expat like him. Pablo has his finger on the pulse of Afro-Cuban youth today, and through hundreds of hours of Skype conversations with him and his beautiful daughter, you can see here, we've made sure that our story is authentic. This has to be a film that rings true to Cubans while appealing to people in the rest of the world. But Pablo's not only a musician and a cinephile, he's also a Santeria priest. Santeria is the Afro-Cuban religion that mixes Catholicism with West African beliefs, and he's helped to weave Santeria into the fabric of the story. Rumba is a modern immigration story, but more than that, it's a reinterpretation of the classic love triangle in Santeria mythology between three of the gods. The music we're listening to right now is an Afro-Cuban rumba dedicated to the god Gémeaux, the god of fire and lightning, who is represented by Leonardo in the film. The symbolism and importance of prophecy in Santeria will bring an element of magic to the film. Religion, racism, sex tourism, these are a few of the issues that this film deals with. But at its heart, it's a relationship story. It's a story about love and betrayal and what happens when we make choices. And because it's such a human story, we believe it has the potential for a broad audience. Like Incendie, another independent film about immigration and secrets, we're aiming for a strong festival release followed by a theatrical run. So far, the project has benefited from 2 rounds of financing in development with Sodec and Telefilm Canada. Montreal-based Production Kinesis, who recently put out 2 theatrical features, are developing the project with me. If we win the award, we will use it to polish and package the script and to begin the process of casting and production in Havana. Right now, we're looking for a co-producer or an executive producer with international experience to help mentor the film and to trigger additional financing. I love movies where every character is trying to do the best they can, but the universe keeps on flipping everyone's expectations. It's like real life. And I believe a film about a love hustle gone wrong is a perfect way to explore that theme. Thank you very much.